On this edition of Lexington Now, a new emergency care unit, new pickleball courts, and football week. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of September 1st, 2025. Lexington Fire has rolled out a new emergency care unit to further serve the needs of the community.
A new ambulance, as we all know, is a huge investment in the health and safety of our community. As you might have guessed, adding an ambulance is a bit expensive. There's a cost to the vehicle, plus the added cost of the firefighters needed to operate the vehicle. These are always ongoing costs in our budget. Improved public safety is always worth the investment. Public safety is my top priority and is the foundation we are building on for a great community. In keeping with that priority we place on public safety, routinely each year, the council and I devote more than half of our government's general fund budget to public safety, including the cost of new and replacement equipment. It is essential that our first responders have the equipment they need to respond to emergencies. In this case, an additional ambulance expands our emergency capabilities. The establishment and the expansion of community paramedicine has reduced the burden on our ambulances by addressing root causes of frequent emergency service use.
Well, this certainly is a very exciting time for the Division of Fire and for our community as we place Emergency Care 13 into service. The first edition of its kind, as the mayor said, since 2018. This milestone represents far more than just a new vehicle. It's the culmination of months of planning, coordination, and problem solving by our dedicated team. It also reflects the steadfast commitment of Mayor Gorton, Commissioner Ken Armstrong, the Lexington Fayette Urban County Council, and so many others within LFUCG leadership who made this possible. As our community grows, we must continually evaluate our resources to ensure that we're providing the best possible service to the residents and visitors of Fayette County. We hold our mission to protect life and property sacred, but we cannot accomplish it alone. We are grateful to all of those who made the addition of this ambulance a reality. And as your Lexington Fire Chief, I also could not let this day go by with saying how grateful I am to serve alongside the amazing men and women of this division. While our equipment is crucial, it is truly the brave members of the Lexington Fire Department who are the heart and soul of this organization. These men and women truly are Lexington's bravest, and it is an honor to serve them as chief. In an emergency, seconds matter. The addition of EC13 will shorten response times and will help ensure that we're able to get the right help to the right person at the right time when emergencies happen. Together, we're taking a significant step to ensure that our firefighters and paramedics have the tools that they need to respond quickly, provide the highest level of care, and keep our community safe for years to come.
Pickleball has Lexington's newest pickleball courts, further meeting the demand for the fast-growing sport.
We're here at the wonderful Gay Brewer Jr. at Pickleball Golf Course, but we're not talking golf today. Pickleball is welcoming a new sport, pickleball. In fact, 4 new pickleball courts. And as many of you know, pickleball courts are in demand in Lexington. And we are adding new courts and restriping some tennis courts so they can be used for both sports. With the completion of Cardinal Run North Park this fall, there will be public pickleball courts, you have to say that slowly, at 13 of our parks. How awesome is that? Tennis also remains very popular, and we have added new tennis courts and resurfaced existing courts as well. Here at Pickleball, pickleball expands ways for people to enjoy this beautiful green space.
In 2019, when I was first elected, I heard from my constituents that live in the nearby area that they would love to see something beyond just golf on this property, as only a small portion of the population plays golf. Since it's a public space, they were hoping for more options. At the time, my office explored with Parks and Rec the idea of expanding the offerings for our residents at this location. We discussed several ideas before the pandemic. And since the pool closed here, and because pickleball attracts a very wide variety of people, from young to old, experienced to inexperienced, from all different socioeconomic levels, it seems to be an ideal activity to be located here at Pickleball. The 11th District has courts in Meadowthorpe Park and one in Gardenside Park that I collaborated with Parks and Recs to make a reality, and now in a place that serves the surrounding 11th District neighborhoods, the central and southwest sectors of the city and beyond, we have space for an activity loved by so many Lexingtonians.
We've transformed this site into a place where the community can come together, stay active, build connections. Whether meeting up to play with friends or hitting the courts after a round of golf, these courts provide a unique opportunity for our community. As we know, pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports in the country. It's a sport that's really easy to learn, so they tell me, fun to play, and brings people of all ages together. Lexington Parks now has 45 dedicated pickleball courts in the city. Investments, they're really more important than just sports or recreation. They're about quality of life, and we know that in parks. These facilities help make Lexington a healthier, more vibrant, and more connected city.
3, 2, 1.
Yay! After this, Football Week. Welcome back to Lexington Now. The latest part of Lexington's 250th birthday celebration includes Football Week. We were there for the announcement.
Football season is here, and it's everybody's favorite time of year. We just had a great time with UK football coach Mark Stoops, former UK football players, several of our local high school football coaches, and I want to shout out Mark Stoops. Coach Stoops, I appreciated his hosting us here today at Kroger Field. From Friday night lights to cheering on the Cats in the biggest games of the season, football is a proud tradition here in Lexington. And this year, it's an especially important part of our city's 250th birthday. In honor of our 250th anniversary, we're celebrating all things football with Football Week. Football Week kicks off with UK's first home game this coming Saturday and continues through September 7th. Football Week marks the start of 250 Lex Sports Month, a showcase of Lexington's exciting athletic history and the many athletes who have represented the city on the local, national, and international stage. Each night of Football Week, in partnership with Brainbox Intelligent Marketing, 250 Lex will host special events across the community, ending the week with some great local high school football on Friday.
I think you probably underestimate in most cases how rich the tradition of football has been around this community. We currently have 9 schools playing, and obviously had a state champion a year ago and several other state appearances by different schools. So we think it touches so much of the fabric. Remember that high school athletics, most of these athletes, the last game they play will be at the high school level, and they stay in this community and they become the leaders, and they become, a lot of what they become is because of people like behind me that teach them. They mold them into great young people. They mold them to become great adults. We hope you'll take advantage. We know that during this week, several of our teams are at home, and at least 1 or 2 are playing each other, and we'll hope you get out and see some of the games.
250 Lex is also celebrating the city's sacred music.
This morning we are in for a treat, and today we're announcing another special addition to our city's 250th anniversary celebration, the first annual In One Accord Sacred Music Festival. The festival, presented by CHI St. Joseph Health, will feature a week-long celebration of the music that fills Lexington's wide variety of religious and performance spaces. The celebration is set to begin September 21st and continue through September 28th, and the festival includes 25 sacred music experiences, 25. Several each day, and they are all open to the public. Several of our local churches are hosting these events, including our friends right here at First Presbyterian Church.
We are delighted to serve as one of the host sites for this year's Sacred Music Festival in celebration of 250 Lex. Sacred spaces, such as the one we are in now, have served as the centers for community since the beginning of civilization. Beyond their important roles as primary places of worship, they are also the cultural intersections where ritual and society meet. They are spaces of formation, transformation, resistance, renewal, and enduring hope. The role of music and the arts is also indistinguishable from sacred purposes, as these creative expressions have long been understood as tools by which we try to comprehend one another and reach towards the divine. One great 20th century hymn from our tradition says it like this: "How often making music we have found a new dimension in the world of sound, as worship moved us to a more profound Alleluia." As the oldest congregation in continuous existence in Lexington from our founding in 1784, we look forward to welcoming guests and visitors into our sacred spaces and spaces across our city, as we offer our gratitude to the hand of Providence in honor of our city's founding and storied history, and as we hold fast with enduring hope to the promise of our next chapter.
250 Lex cannot acknowledge and celebrate its 250th birthday this year without highlighting Lexington's vibrant faith community. Lexington has had a dynamic religious community since the early 1700s. With hundreds of houses of worship throughout Lexington today, music is a central point of most, if not all, worship services. Thus, 250 Lex presenting In One Accord, a sacred music festival, is a fitting tribute and a special salute to Lexington's faith and religious communities.
I think all of you have benefited from the amazing talent that's in the Lexington area, not only at the university, but throughout all of the churches and places of worship in Lexington. And so this is a way that we can celebrate that. And it's a universal language that brings people together. And it's religious and non-religious. It all brings people together. And that's the hope of this festival. We have 25 concerts in 1 week. We are in 22 different venues around the city. And so I'm really excited about that, from concert halls to churches to chapels to theaters to museums to synagogues to sanctuary, places of peace. We are all over Lexington, and that was by intent.
Live meeting coverage on Lex TV and streaming online continues this week. And remember, you can also find the most up-to-date information on non-televised city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on X at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.